If you like to see historical love stories, you should definitely watch our picks for the best period romance movies.
He loves me.
Yes, of course.
I've only met him twice.
When one truly loves someone, one doesn't have to know them well to be sure, Georgina. One feels it right away.
We hope you will enjoy the following ranking. Please let us know your favorite in the comments, and make sure to subscribe to never miss a good movie again.
Number 10. The Duchess, 2008.
But if you were to really ask me which my favorite was, I'd say it was this one.
The English aristocrat Georgiana, played by Keira Knightley, is married to the influential Duke of Devonshire, played by Ralph Fiennes. But as soon as she notices that her husband has no affection for her, Georgiana sets out in search of her own happiness on the path of true love. Released in 2008 and directed by Saul Dibb, The Duchess is based on Amanda Foreman's biography of Georgiana Cavendish, Duchess of Devonshire, and received the Academy Award for Best Costume Design in 2009.
What kind of man are you? She is my sole comfort in our marriage. You have robbed me of my only friend.
Number 9. Bright Star, 2009.
Who will you smile at?
Oh, wait.
Wait.
Bright Star is a 2009 biographical romantic drama film based on the last 3 years of the life of poet John Keats and his romantic relationship with the young Fanny Brawne. But they are confronted with many obstacles, including his lack of finances and his writing partner, who believes she is nothing more than an unwelcome distraction. Directed by Jane Campion, with Abby Cornish, Ben Whishaw, and Paul Schneider in lead roles, the movie is an ode to Keats' poetry, life, and love.
You are to me an object intensely desirable. The air I breathe in a remembrance of you is unhealthy. But you can wait.
Number 8. Becoming Jane, 2007.
They think that they can do what they like with us, but I will not accept this.
We have no choice.
Of course we do.
This 2007 romantic drama is a film adaptation of John Spence's biography of the young life of writer Jane Austen. Directed by Julianne Gerald, with Anne Hathaway, James McAvoy, and Julie Walters in lead roles, we experience how the young Austen, on her way to becoming a writer, fell in love with non-aristocratic Tom Lefroy. However, no one supports their relationship, and Jane must now decide whether she should remain true to her principles or bow to social constraint.
I have a duty to my family, Jane. I must think of them as well as...
Tom. Is that all you have to say to me?
Number 7. Far from the Maddening Crowd, 2015.
Now you've all met our new shepherd, Mr. Oak. You understand your duties, Mr. Oak?
If I don't, I'll ask, ma'am.
Directed by Thomas Vinterberg and starring Carey Mulligan, Matthias Schoenaerts, Michael Sheen, and Tom Sturridge, this film is the 4th adaptation of the 1874 novel by Thomas Hardy. The 2015 romantic drama follows the story of independent and headstrong Bathsheba Everdeen. When she inherited a farm from her grandfather, she decided, contrary to the conventions of the time, to take over the management of the estate alone in order to remain financially independent. It wasn't long before the beautiful woman attracted the attention of the men around her.
Don't suppose because I'm a woman I don't know the difference between bad goings-on and good. I shall be up before you are awake. I shall be afield before you are up. It is my intention to astonish you all.
Number 6. The Young Victoria, 2009.
You Puritani?
As a matter of fact, yes.
I used to like it too. Now I prefer Norma.
Directed by Jean-Marc Vallée, this 2009 drama, with Emily Blunt, Rupert Friend, and Paul Bettany, tells the story of the turbulent first years of the reign of Queen Victoria, who was crowned at the age of 18 and got caught up in the political machinations of her own family. While she fights at the English court with envious intriguers and those who want to trip her of her newfound power, she meets Prince Albert, the man who will become the love of her life.
Do you ever feel like a chess piece yourself? In a game being played against your will?
Do you?
Constantly.
see them leaning in and moving me around the board.
Number 5. Belle, 2013.
I have every
that
right.
you will never have. Not until you cease from judging the entire world as those above and those below and begin to see people as people.
The British drama by Amma Asante is inspired by the true story of Dido Elizabeth Belle, the illegitimate mixed-race daughter of a British aristocrat. Released in 2013 with Gugu Mbatha-Raw, Sam Reed, and Tom Felton. The film shows Belle's efforts to fit into society, but her skin prevents her from fully participating in the traditions of her social status. Left to wonder if she will find love, Belle meets an idealistic young vicar's son, and together they seek to end the cruel practices of slavery in the 18th century England.
Who, like you, assumes that wealth and reputation are all that life depends on and despises love as though it were the devil's own creation.
Love! You claim love!
Yes! Yes! I love her! I love her with every breath I breathe!
Number 4. Jane Eyre, 2011.
I have known you, Mr. Rochester, and it strikes me with anguish to be torn from you.
Then why must you leave?
Jane Eyre is a 2011 drama by Cary Fukunaga and stars Mia Wasikowska, Michael Fassbender, and Jamie Bell, and is the latest of several film adaptations of this timeless classic written by Charlotte Brontë. The film follows the story of Jane Eyre, an orphan who gets a job as a governess in Thornfield Hall, where she meets Mr. Rochester, the dark and cold master of the house. They get closer, but their happiness is overshadowed by a dark secret that keeps the lovers apart.
I'm not speaking to you through mortal flesh. It is my spirit that addresses your spirit, as if we'd passed through the grave and stood at God's feet equal, as we are.
As we are.
Number 3. Little Women, 2019.
You won't tell?
Never.
I scorched my dress, see? There. And Meg told me to keep still so no one would see it.
Little Women is a 2019 coming-of-age period drama film, written and directed by Greta Gerwig, and stars Saoirse Ronan, Emma Watson, Florence Pugh, Eliza Scanlon, Laura Dern, Timothée Chalamet, and Meryl Streep. Jo March, a teacher from New York, reflects back and forth on her life. She finds an editor and starts to tell her beloved story of the March sisters, about 4 young women, each determined to live life on their own terms.
As long as you love him.
Well, I believe we have some power over who we love. It isn't something that just happens to a person.
I think the poets might disagree.
Well, I'm not a poet. I'm just a woman.
Number 2. Atonement, 2007.
You realize that's probably the most valuable thing we own?
Not anymore, it isn't.
Careful!
Atonement is a 2007 romantic war drama film, directed by Joe Wright and stars James McAvoy, Keira Knightley, Saoirse Ronan, and Benedict Cumberbatch. The 2007 film is based on Ian McEwan's 2001 novel of the same name. The film tells the story of Brienne Tallis, a 13-year-old girl and future writer, and the consequences of her actions after she misinterprets several events and changes the lives of 2 lovers, her older sister Cecilia and Robbie Turner, the son of a family servant. The movie has a wonderful score and won an Oscar for Best Achievement in Music.
If all we have rests on a few moments in a library 3.5 years ago, then I'm not sure.
Robbie, look.
I don't know if...
Before we unveil movie number 1, here are a few honorable mentions.
Why are you leaving Moscow?
What else can I do? I have to be where you are.
Stop, that's enough. Go back to Kitty.
By all means, Master.
Are you a believer in order?
Order?
Order over landscape.
Well, I admire it.
Looking at these plans, there seems to be no trace.
I would not agree.
You are determined, I see, to have no curiosity. You are wise. But I cannot be wise. I must tell you, Emma, what you will not ask, though I may wish it unsaid the next moment.
Then do not speak it.
Number 1. Pride and Prejudice, 2005.
But her sister Elizabeth is very agreeable.
Perfectly tolerable, I dare say. She's not handsome enough to tempt me.
Pride and Prejudice is a 2005 period romance film, directed by Joe Wright and based on Jane Austen's 1813 novel of the same name, starring Keira Knightley and Matthew Macfadyen. This tale of love and values unfolds in the class-conscious England of the late 18th century. The 5 Bennet sisters, including strong-willed Elizabeth, have been raised by their mother with one purpose in life: finding a husband. As the wealthy bachelor Mr. Bingley and his friend Mr. Darcy arrive in the neighborhood, the lives of the 5 daughters are turned upside down.
I thought the poetry was the food of love.
Of a fine stout love it may. But if it is only a vague inclination, I'm convinced one poor sonnet will kill it stone dead.
So what do you recommend to encourage affection?
Dancing. Even if one's partner is barely tolerable.
Do you agree with our list? Please let us know in the comments. If you want to know more about a particular movie in this list, you can check out our links in the video description. And for more top 10 movie videos, be sure to subscribe to communiTV.